Maybach music.
Get it right, 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 get it right. Do it for the VLB. Check it out. Fuck it up, 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 fuck it up. Walk, 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 walk with it. Walk, 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 walk with it. Walk, 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 walk with it. Snatch back then, ho. Snatch back, snatch, snatch, snatch back, snatch back, snatch, snatch, snatch back, snatch back, snatch, snatch, snatch back, snatch back, snatch, snatch, snatch back down, snatch back down.
What's going on, man? What's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, bro? Y'all see him out here, man. Y'all see him out here, man. I'm at the Dolphin game, bro. Y'all want to take a look, man. I'm actually at the Dolphin game, sitting in the car. I had to get on here and talk some Canes, man, because the first time Canes been 4-0 since 2017, which is hard to believe that we've been that bad before. But things are looking up, and I know y'all drinking that Kool Aid. I know y'all starting to drink that Kool Aid now. I know y'all starting to drink that Kool Aid. Then we back Texas coming through. I know y'all starting to drink that Kool Aid, man. But good showing yesterday at Temple, man. What's good? What 41-7?
Yeah, 41-7.
Yeah, soundly beat the people down like you supposed to. Let me get into that because before people get into it's Temple, dog. Y'all beat Temple like y'all supposed. Before people get into that conversation, just think about the teams of the past we were supposed to be that we struggled with or that we didn't beat. You play the teams that's on your schedule and you take care of business. But you got to play the teams that's on your schedule. So if you're just getting in here, man, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's the new Caneville chatting. I got Rich in here. I got Kyle in here. I got my boy X in here. I'm going to be in here for a little while, but they're going to hold it down after a second because like I said, I'm at the Dolphin Stadium, man. I'm at a tailgate, man. Funny story, bro. Listen, man. We had a porta potty in front of us right when we pulled up right here. You know the porta potties over there? And it was right here in our space, so we couldn't set up our tailgate, right? So we pushed the porta potty over there where y'all see them at across the sea. We pushed the porta potty over there, man. This girl walked out the porta potty, man. Somebody was in the porta potty while we was pushing it, dog. And our boyfriend was standing there.
Oh man.
Hey, back over there. I would show him to you. Our boyfriend was standing there. He ain't say nothing.
Well, he probably was tired of her shit.
He ain't say nothing. Hey, what he was thinking about? I hope the nigga pushed this one off a cliff.
It probably was.
No, he ain't say Nathan, dog. We pushed the girl all the way across the street and she jumped out like, hey. But listen, bro, right off the back, dog, like I said, 4-0 for the first time since 2017. One thing I want to talk about is the speed on the new kids, bro. Chris Johnson and Ray look like they look like speedsters that we haven't had in a while, bro. Can y'all think back to the last guy we had that looked fast like that?
JT Thomas.
Jeff Thomas looked fast.
Yeah. Jeff Thomas looked fast. He looked fast out there. Before him, you would have to say, what's the skinny kid who came from Travis Benjamin? Travis Benjamin. Lamar Miller. Running back. Lamar Miller is the last running back we had that was probably close to fast like Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Ray get that ball, dog. It looks totally different. When Chris Johnson get that ball, like I said in the group yesterday, shout out to the villains. When he got pushed out of bounds, those plays in high school, he used to take them to the house. But dudes in college take better angles. You know what I'm saying? They're a little faster. But I'm sure he'll eventually be taking those to the house. That's some exceptional speed, bro. And I'm not sure how we have been missing on kids like that for so long, but I'm glad it's back.
Yeah.
Tutu Atwell.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah, we almost missed Ray. Yeah, you had to double back on that.
Yeah, we almost let Ray ride. Yeah,
we got the Washington Twins, and I don't know if y'all noticed when Bobby get in the game, Bobby is extremely fast at linebacker. I don't think we ever had a linebacker that fast. And that's going back to the early 90s with Darren Smith. Like That boy,
I don't know. We had some.
Bobby special fast.
He might be the fastest, but we did have some special fast linebackers. I don't think they became starters.
Not like that. Not like that.
McClung.
Like Darryl Smith. That's his name, right, Peter?
Who?
Yeah, Darren Smith was fast. Darren Smith was fast.
Darren Smith was probably our fastest linebacker ever. Who?
McClover.
No, I'm saying
linebacker.
Darren Smith was 4.3 fast. He was 4.3 fast, like legitimately clocked that 4.3. We've never had a 4.3.
I think McClover was like that.
See, but I'm saying, like, some of these guys were fast. Like, Lamar Miller was fast, but it looks fast when Ray get the ball.
Yeah.
That's I'm like that Mark look when he got the ball. Like those players back in the 2000s look like Philip Buchanan them look when they got the ball. Like they look like they were sped up. And yeah, we haven't had that in a while. I'm not even sure how they held Ray back. I mean, maybe they was trying to hold Ray back for league play or something like that. But he got to get touches, bro. That boy is dangerous. He's what Hayes had been talking about. Who strikes fear? Who strikes fear? Anybody on the Miami team scare you? I think Ray gonna scare people, dog. You just can't keep taking them hits like that.
Nah.
You'll learn.
The comment section, man. So listen, man, I got a tailgate out here to run to, man. But in the comment section, man, and y'all on the panel, bro, listen. Y'all, who's feed into the Kool Aid? Rick, talk to me, dog. It's been 4-0. The shit looks smooth. It looks crisp. The teams look professional. They handle the business like doing it with no sweat off their back. You buying into the Kool Aid yet, dog?
Man, you know what? I'm not necessarily. As a fan, yes, I'm buying into it, 100%. But what I'm looking at is the hurdles that they jumping through. Through these first 4 games, and this goes for all of college football. The first thing you have to do if you're a big Power 5 school like Miami, you got to beat your group of 5 opponents, and you got to beat them convincingly where you show that they not on the same level. Miami did that with Miami of Ohio, and they did that with Temple, which, that's one hurdle that we're over. The next hurdle is you can't let teams that are not even group of 5 come in and have their way with you like we did. We are on the anniversary of that Middle Tennessee blunder that we had. So we can't have that stuff happen. So we took care of Bethune-Cookman. And then we had a semi-rivalry get-back game, if you will, with Texas A&M. And Texas A&M is actually a good team, a team that you could really use as a meter, as a measuring stick as to where you are. And we beat them. And not only did we beat them, we outlasted them as a team. As a matter of fact, I think we had more in the tank. So we've jumped through some hurdles, and I'm glad that we have. But, there's more hurdles that we got to jump through. Looking at Louisville, we see that they like to start early. They could put up points. So our secondary is really going to have to clamp down for that game. Then you got the Clemson game. You saw what they did with Florida State. Clemson was not ranked. Florida State is 4 in the nation, and that game went to overtime. So that the reigning champs are not going to just bow out gracefully. They're going to fight. So we know that that's going to be a fight. Then we got Florida State. Florida State is always going to be a fight. But I tell you what, if we beat Florida State, yeah, not only am I drinking the Kool Aid as a fan, I'm drinking the Kool Aid as a podcaster. I'm drinking the Kool Aid as just a regular a person. And I'm gonna tell you, if we beat Florida State, I'm thinking playoffs. So it's one game at a time, and we'll see.
What about you, X?
Man, I don't buy this drink the Kool Aid, man. I just buy we getting the job done. We 4-0. Obviously, if you listen to everybody else, they say you and me are playing 4 cupcakes. That's including the end of. The thing about it is, in the 4 games we played, Not one of the teams we played showed a dominance that they were better than us. And that's including A&M. If you look on the field, you say, damn, boy, they is bigger, faster. But we went out there and we beat them every aspect of the game. So, like Mario say, man, we taking it one game at a time. We got a bye week. Let's get healthy. And then we get into ACC play. This is the part of the season where we used to start the fall. You know what I'm saying? So 4-0. Team been playing good. No team's been playing good. Yesterday, the way the field, the wind, the weather, I just didn't expect us to even dominate that much. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, man, even watching the defensive players, man, slipping on certain plays, like, yeah, boy, things could go bad because the weather just was horrible. But end up, 41-7, gave up 11 rushing yards, really. Like, I don't know when the last time we ever did that. Had some miscues here and there, but in all in all, man, I'm happy for what we did. We did. Last year we was what, 2-2 or 1-3 at this time or something like that.
Yeah, I think we were 2-2.
So I mean,
we only had one loss at that time, right?
Nah,
we only had one loss.
2-2 because we won.
Oh, the Middle Tennessee, yeah.
We lost to the Bethune,
Texas.
We lost to A&M. We beat Southern Miss. Then we lost to Middle Tennessee State and somebody else, something like that. So, I mean, again, man, it's good. We 4-0. You know what I'm saying? No major season-ending injuries. You know what I'm saying? Even some of the guys who are out right now, we got word that they'll be back at some point in the season. So it's like, hey, I mean, I'm not drinking the Kool Aid. I'm just happy for the success we're having right
now. I'm not drinking the Kool Aid, but I'm believing in the Kool Aid packet. I believe what's in the Kool Aid packet is real. So I believe in this coaching staff. So far, so good. To me, that's one of the key ingredients is what the coaching staff is doing. So I believe in them, and for them, that makes me comfortable. If I can say I believe in our coaching staff, I like what they're doing. I like when they're creative. Nobody's perfect, so when I see them throwing like 3 or 4 screens in the first quarter, I'm pissed off. But they're doing their job and they're doing a great job at it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always been an X. I know you can attest to this. It's always been we can get the kids, even when we miss on Zay Flowers, Tutu Atwell, or when we let some of the big dogs go, we still get kids. These kids still end up in the NFL. They still are productive players, all that good stuff. We just could never get it right up top. And I feel like now we've got it right up top. I can't see anything that's really detrimental to us growing. But I think that's where we are. We have to take steps. And I don't see us losing the game because of coaching. And that's really big because athletes are going to be athletes. They're going to play, but they need people to put them in the right position to succeed. And I think that's what I'm seeing. So I'm believing all the ingredients. Like this packet is Kool Aid. It ain't, what is it called? Lycomade and all the other stuff you get from the dollar store. It ain't that. I believe it's real Kool Aid. Ain't ready to drink it yet. We got to play some more games. I told them that in the group meet the other day that you can't judge us until that UNC week. Once we play UNC and we see what we're made of, I think then we can pick a direction. Doesn't mean we're going to beat Florida State. Doesn't mean we're going to beat Clemson. Doesn't mean we're going to lose to them either. But I think we can see what kind of team we are after we've, run the gambit of beating who we're supposed to beat and then beating teams that have been playing on our level. We get through that, then we can start judging. Maybe I'll drink the Kool Aid, after that UNC game, depending on how we win. But what Streeter was saying earlier, it's an important step to beat the team that you're able to beat for 2 reasons. Number one, that shows you on some kind of level. You know what I mean? That you can beat the team that you're supposed to beat because we have been able to do that for a long time, a very long time. And you know what I'm saying? It's really just a step forward. And if we beat the team we're supposed to beat in the ACC, that means 2 losses at the most this year. if we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, that means 2 losses at the most, and that's Florida State and Clemson. And neither one of those teams look like they should be able to. I'm not gonna say be able to beat us, but it look like we can hang with either one of those teams. So I'm not drinking the Kool Aid yet. I see all the ingredients, and I think it's real. Once we get to UNC, we'll decide that. But
But
moving forward,
we passed our 2 tests so far. And I don't want to sit and say the Temple game was a test because we were supposed to beat them, but it was a road game in horrible weather. Usually those games don't do us any good. You know what I'm saying? So we passed the first test with A&M. We beat the big game at home. The second test was yesterday, Temple. I'll say because we passed that. Before, if the weather was perfect, I wouldn't have said that was a test. But since the weather was horrible, again, in the previous years, those are the type of games you'd be like, damn, man, we only won 24-20. Like, you see what I'm saying? But we passed the test yesterday. So our next test is, I don't even want to say Georgia Tech, but it's an ACC game, a home game, ACC. And then the following week is the first big road game against North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So we passed 2 tests so far.
big game, and we could have beat Temple worse than we did. That was what I called it, Rich, a methodical ass whooping. It was to me, it was like that was the most boring blowout I've ever seen. It was so methodical, just like we could have really we probably could have hung 60 or 70 on them. And I think the defense kind of got a little lackadaisical at one point, and maybe it's the weather, whatever, and they allowed that 7. Didn't even have to allow that 7. So that could have been a real ass whooping. But you know, we were aggressive, but we didn't put our foot all the way on the pedal. There was no need to. So yeah, I'm with you on that, X. That was a test because of the way we passed the test.
Yeah, it's the way that Alabama used to beat opponents, where they'll score 14 points in the first half, and then next thing you know, the score ends up being 48-12, and you're like, they only have 14 points in the first 2 quarters. It's the same way, and they play 60 minutes of football.
Yeah, you know, the one thing I didn't. Now, the one thing I was kind of mad at about yesterday was, I mean, I've been biased. I'm gonna be biased. They stopped giving my boy Chaney the ball. I was kind of upset with that. Like, come on, get that man 10, 15 carries. Like,
you think it might have been a weather factor, X? You think it might have been a weather factor because Streeter keeps bringing this up, and I agree with him. I can't find how can we pinpoint the reason, but bro, we keep suffering injuries. This has been going on for 2 or 3 years. Like, we just keep suffering all these injuries. Yeah, they're not all devastating and major blows, but it's like, come on, man, just game after game, people keep getting hurt. So I was thinking for Chaney to start the game and then not get the carries that, like, Parrish got hot, right? But Fletcher comes in and fumble, you would think all the rest of the carries going to Chaney, but it didn't. So my thought process is, you know, is wet conditions out there, slippery out there. Maybe they're just trying to make sure Chaney don't get hurt, and I ain't got no problem with that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the weather. I think they probably being cautious with Chaney because they know, you know, he has the injury history. So maybe they be cautious by saying let's not overload him. And it's to be honest, it's up to him to prove that he can be overloaded at certain times. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
So he has to. You say you don't want him to?
Yeah, because
I agree, Rich.
With,
not necessary.
Nick Chubb and Sony Michel. Chaney gave you 61 yards on 9 carries for a 6.8 average. If Chaney does stuff like that for the rest of the season and give me at least 1 touchdown along with that, remember, Sony Michel went in the first round doing the same numbers, game after game, about, I'd say, 70 to 85 yards a game for 12 games, and he went in the first round. And then Nick Chubb went in the second round. So Chaney is in a good position because of the way they devalue running backs anyway. You don't need to have 150 yards a game anymore and 30 carries. You really don't. If you could get 10 carries a game, 11, and, you know, you at 75 yards, you're close to 1,000 yards.
I agree. I was just like I said, I was being biased because I know the guy worked hard. He worked hard to get back on that field, man. I'm like, could have gave him like 10 to 15 at least yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing I do kind of have a feeling is now that we're in more depth of ACC play, I think it's going to be a lot more Paris Cheney 1-2 punch going forward.
Right, I agree.
You know, and then like the little miscellaneous carries will come with Mark and AJ Allen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
X, can you explain that one, X? What happened to AJ Allen yesterday?
Bro, I don't know. I text. I don't know. I was trying to get an answer about that yesterday, and I was like, no response. So I was like, I guess we'll figure something out today or tomorrow, but I have no idea. And then Coach Mario says it, and he says it. Look, man, the hardest guy who works in practice is going to play.
Right.
I think Cheney he's been working hard. Everybody's been working hard. I think this week Cheney just outworked everybody. Like, man, look, I want to play.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that was kind of weird. We got this nice 4-5 headed. Like I wanted to see at that point, I wanted to see Walden, man, the way we had all them holes and stuff going. But I think that would have been a big game for AJ Allen because all of our backs are good and they're consistent. He's the closest we have to that top 4 as a quote unquote speedster. He's the closest. I'm not saying he is a speedster. I would have liked to seen him hit some of those holes that the guys was creating. Cause I'm looking at it and I'm like, I said this jokingly. I was serious but jokingly. I said, dang, boy, I would like to see Jalen Knight hitting these holes, get about 30 yards of fumble. But I was like, dang, we need some speed in there, man. Somebody that'll hit them holes and just be gone or what have you, whatever. I know that's coming next year, but that's why I was kind of like, where's AJ Allen? I don't know. That was, a little weird to me. But
the one thing the coaches always say, they say, it's going to be a different guy coming in the starting lineup each week. So I keep telling people, like, it doesn't matter who starts the game, it matters who finished the game. You know what I'm saying? So, Cheney started yesterday, but who finished the game yesterday, running back?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, obviously it was a blowout, so it didn't matter who finished it. But you see what I'm saying? You got things like that. Even defensively, man, looking at the snaps, Ruben Bain has more snaps than LT, but you like, how's that possible? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just gotta, the coach gonna go with the guys who are working the hardest, man.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because that creates competition. I think that probably Cheney going out there and starting might have did something to Paris. I'm not saying Paris runs hard every game, but it had like a slightly different look to it once he got in and he started running, and that creates healthy competition. So I'm okay with that. Week to week, y'all go out there and whoever practice the hardest, gonna get all the milk and honey. So I have no problem with that.
And I just wanted to rattle off a couple stats, and I also wanted to say I would say at the running back room as well as the receiver room, they're looking much better as well as the offensive line. So our offense across the board looks better. But from a stats perspective, Parrish has 16 carries for 139, two tubs. Cheney 9 for 61 yards, 6.8 yards per carry. Mark Fletcher 11 for 54, 4.6 yards per carry. But check this out. Chris Johnson, 4 carries, 33 yards, long of 24 yards, average 8.2 yards. So we got some explosive guys on running the ball, catching the ball.
Don't be disrespectful, Rich. What was TVD's running stats? Don't be disrespectful.
All right. Well, TVD, Mr. White Vic himself.
Crazy legs. Yes, sir.
So he had 2 carries for 39 yards. His long was so that was an average of 19.5 per carry. Nah.
Speed. Street asking for speed. You see what kind? Hey, get him back on here. You talking about we ain't got no speed? My bad. Go ahead, Rich. I ain't.
Now, I was going to say that. So that's a total of 326 yards rushing. We only had 220 yards in the air, which is a great thing. It's not a bad thing. And the way that we did it was really interesting. So Restrepo has seven catches for 41 yards, 2 tubs. Jacoby George, 5 catches, 90 yards. This is a great stat for Jacoby. He had 5 targets and 5 catches. That means he caught everything thrown his way. Restrepo had 9 targets, 7 catches. Kobe Young had 3 targets, 2 catches. And it would have been 3 catches, in my opinion. I think when he stretched out that last time, I think he had it. But that was the ref, so that wasn't on him. But he had a touchdown. Ray, 4 targets, 2 catches, 28 yards. His long was that 19-yard blur. Brashard 1 for 1, 28 yards. And Parrish 2 for 0. Tyler Harrell 1 for 0, 220 yards.
Yeah, like Paris got to do a better job, man. He dropped 2 passes yesterday. You got to catch that ball, Paris.
Yeah, he did. We got to figure out if it was just the weather. The commentators was telling them to take them gloves off. You'll catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on both sides of the field because the Temple guys was doing the same thing and they had gloves on. So that's probably that.
Yeah, man, we could transition to defense because again, yesterday the offense was just outstanding. Shouts out to the big boys up front, man. They didn't allow TVD to get dirty at all.
Yeah, he had no sense.
Hey, before we move on, I'm gonna say this. It was funny, like Rich calling out the receiver stats. I could have sworn we threw for more yards than that, just because the way everything looked so easy and everything was open, and I'm just watching guys in the end zone, and I really thought we had more. That's a crazy, absurd amount of efficiency that we had. But one more point on the running backs, man. Shout out to the running backs, not just for the yards that they put up, but all of those guys are pass blocking well. Parrish is not a big guy, but he is picking up the blitz. He's finding who he needs to find. I know it's going to get tougher as we play different opponents, but, shout out to those guys. X, I don't know if you see it, but I feel like all 3 guys are picking up the blitz exceptionally well. I don't know if you agree or not.
Well, that's another thing why you might not play. If you don't pick up the blitz, you might not get in the game. You got to block. You got to block because Mario says that, because Ice says it. You ain't blocking. Might not get in the game. I don't care how good you can run that ball. You got to block. You know what I'm saying? Just don't want TVD to get hit at all. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, he didn't get hit at all. So, shouts out to them for that, especially.
Listen, shout out to our producer in the back, Medi, doing the thing he needs to do, because I really needed him to keep that little Johnny Law line up there, what he's saying. Johnny Law says, the only thing I need to see that D-line get to the QB a little bit more and covering the damn running backs. Both of those things are true. That's the only thing I kind of witnessed about the defense. And X, me and you talked about it. We said it before. I need those guys to start getting home with just 4. I know a lot of time we're rushing 3 so we can blitz in other places or whatever. So that may take away from the effectiveness overall. It's hard to critique a team that gives up 11 rushing yards or whatever, right? But we blitz so much, and that's the reason that running back is able to come out the backfield like that, because we're always doing kind of unorthodox things and maybe not putting favorable matchups out there or whatever, like having Kiko on running backs, things like that. But we got to get home up front. Like somebody has to be Jalen Phillips, Quincy Roche, Gerald Willis. Somebody has to be that guy that's just disruptive on his own. Even if it's LT getting double teamed or what have you, okay, whatever. Either he got to be able to fight through that, or somebody else need to be able to say, well, I'm getting blocked 1-on-1. I'm finna kick this man's ass in front of me. But we don't have that explosive guy on the front 4. Maybe we need to not drop Najee in coverage so much, because I think he has the best bend out of all those guys coming off the edge. I don't know what it is, and the defense is playing well. This could all be what Guidry wants, but I want to see somebody on that front four be able to take over a game. I haven't seen it yet. I think it's important for our defense.
So what you're saying is, because I had to explain this to somebody yesterday. What you're saying with the defense is, even when they rushing for, Guidry wants the quarterback to get out the pocket. That's why you see a lot of stunts when you see the defensive end, the stunt and go in, and then you'll see the D tackle stunt and go out. He's forcing the quarterback to get out that pocket. He don't want him to be comfortable in the pocket because we have enough speed. If he does take off, we could, get him before he makes a big play. I'm cool with that. The only issue is when that does happen, now you let somebody covering that running back out the backfield. And that's the problem that I tweeted that yesterday. I said, man, look, watching FSU and Clemson, they both do a good job throwing that ball to the running back out the backfield. Mm-hmm. So we can't do that against them. We can't leave Jaden Wayne and Najee to cover those guys. They got some elite guys at that position. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like I said, I'm happy with it because it does work. It does make the quarterback uncomfortable. But you just have to do a better job at covering that back out the running at the backfield.
Well, how did y'all feel about Thomas Gore and his performance yesterday?
He's been solid all season. He's been solid all season. Yesterday, he proved the reason why he got the Power 5 offer to come transfer to Miami. He did a good job. And again, I think anybody who's playing in the game along LT should do good because they are double teaming and holding the LT every play. Every play, even when he got sacked yesterday, they double teamed. I mean, they held the guy, and I'm like, gee, I see the frustration on his face. But yeah, Thomas Gore did good yesterday.
I don't know if they do it like I know like in the NBA. I'm not sure if the NFL, but I know like in the NBA, like Pat Riley used to always, get videotape and send this to the refs and send to the league. The calls being missed. I have to wonder, or I hope that they're doing the same thing here because, and I'm not trying to complain. I'm not wanting to sit there and like look at the refs all game, but my God, every single game, bro, our D-line is getting held.
Look, Mark Richt, you don't remember Mark Richt sent the ACC a whole tape about all the calls that they didn't give, and they don't care, man. They're not gonna give us calls, so we just got to take what we can get.
Speaking of people being held, I see Miss Wilcox with the comment. She says 56 LT and Brown rising stocks, and I have to say this: not only LT but also Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain and LT was getting held a lot.
Oh man, Ruben Bain jersey be about to twist on the other side. I'm like, God, man. But hey, okay, so y'all know who stock rising? Jafari Harvey stock is rising. I'm talking about me. Yeah, Jafari Harvey's stock is rising. Like he could be a mid, third, fourth rounder, easy, maybe even better than that.
Yeah. I think especially if he goes to the combine, and which I think he'll be a combine killer. If they go to a combine and they see what he looks like, and the fact that he's all over the field doing a lot of, it's not explosive, but you just see his jersey everywhere. And I did not expect this from him. I think this is what we have been.
He's explosive. Look, he's explosive. He's athletic. I didn't know.
I mean, no. I'm not saying he's not. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not. What I'm saying is like explosive, like how we used to see Jalen Phillips, Greg Rousseau pop off tape. We see Jafar Hardy. He's definitely. That's what I mean.
Natural defense end. He's not that natural defense end. We finally put him in a position where he's natural at. He's standing
and
up.
I think we're doing that for. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For him. Go ahead and finish. We're doing that for him, right? For him to get drafted.
Yeah,
that's what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
He ain't supposed to have his
and I think that's
play defensive end every play. Nah, that's not him. His thing is let me stand up, let me use my athleticism to roam the field or attack the quarterback.
Right.
And I think that's a topic we touched on in our text messages the other day. It's been so long, I feel, that we had coaches able to put guys in position to succeed or doing things that fit them. You know what I'm saying? And them finding this role for Jafari Harvey. I'm gonna kind of admit it probably started last year a little bit. When we would see they did it too much. They were putting him in like a striker role and shit, and I was just like, what the hell was like? Yeah, that was a little bit too much. But being able to get him off of that DN spot and move him around has worked for him. But it's been a lot of guys. We saw Couch playing nickel, playing outside boundary, and playing safety.
Right.
We see X lining up. You know, he's going to line up where he lines up, but he's going to help in so many facets of the game. We're starting to see all these guys be able to do multiple things that they've always been able to do, just that nobody was putting them in the right position to succeed. So that's why I was saying earlier, man, shout out to the coaching staff. I have so much confidence in them. But guys are getting to be able to show their worth. They were talking about it in the chat earlier. Look at Corey Couch. We saw Corey Couch come in early, look good, have a next year where he didn't look good at all, have a year after that where it was kind of 2 years with a die, and look at Couch now. He still gambles sometimes and may get burnt.
Yeah.
You know, he's still a small
As he
guy, so he
should,
may
as he
miss a
should, he's a
tackle, but
cornerback. As he
Listen,
should,
right,
he's a
exactly. That's
cornerback.
what
You
it
know,
happens.
a good cornerback gambles and try to make plays. You know what I'm saying? That's a good cornerback. Just saying, go out there and just play coverage. No, we want to make plays on defense. So
And
I'm with you on that.
I don't know if anybody sees this too, but I think what in the offseason, he's prepared his body as well to play at the next level. I think, yeah. So I see in the chat he has 3 interceptions on the year, 2 in this game. This is exactly what you do to make your stock rise and for you to get to the league. And we need our guys to get to the league and get drafted, because all of that goes into recruiting as well. I mean, you got to have guys that are in the league in order for guys to believe that you can get them to the league. So I like what Couch is doing. I mean, no, is he a you know, I'm trying to think of a college football corner that's like is hell. We got some on our team. Is he Devontae Brown? No, but I like what he's doing, and he's playing multiple positions and making himself useful out there. So he's a baller.
Wait, is that supposed to mean something? She said Couch 2 interceptions, so special. 3 interceptions in 4 games. That's pretty high rate for a cornerback. So I don't, you know.
Right.
I mean, he didn't have 3 interceptions last year. So to downplay the 3 interceptions he got, look, he didn't have it last year.
Who did besides Cam? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Our second leading interception was Gil.
Yeah, Gil ain't play after what, game 5, game 6.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And then after Gil, it was like James had one, so it's like, look, we happy because as we get turnovers. You know, some we didn't do a lot of last season. You know, but to go to what you say, yeah, look, I just gotta applaud the coaching staff. They coaching these guys up. Every position group is getting coached up properly. The only one thing, I mean, I ain't even gonna say this publicly, but it's just one position where I feel a certain guy shouldn't play, but I'll leave it at that.
I don't know who that guy is, so I ain't gonna ask.
I'm gonna transition.
I'm not gonna ask.
It's a guy I've been saying I don't think he should have played, and he's playing, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Oh God.
Well, I'm gonna transition. I'm gonna let that kind of get swept under the rug. I wanted to touch base on James real quick, James Williams. For me, he's a prototypical guy who has the measurables to get drafted. Period. I think what's even better than that, because he's gonna come out and do his thing. He's a leader on the field, you know, just like the comment says from the chat. But I like to see him be in a better mental state and be happy. I like seeing that because at the end of the day, man, you got to make memories and you got to cherish these moments. Cherish these moments with your family. Shout out to if you're a member, if you're a villain, you would have saw the take that Streeter put out there. But that's what it's all about, man. When you in that type of mental space, you make less mistakes, you win more games, and you play more freely. So I like him doing this thing, and let's give him his flowers while he's here, because next year more than likely he's gonna be in the league.
Look at that! I'm reading the chat. I'm reading the chat, and look, somebody already didn't say who I'm talking about, man. I didn't want to say it publicly, but you ate. What the fuck is that guy doing out there, man? Come on.
I'm not reading the chat, so I don't know who X talking about. But hey, look, yeah, let's give James his props, gives him his flowers. It's not always about the big splash play, but he's back there directing traffic and holding everything down. And y'all gotta remember too. Yeah, I know it's Temple, but we did play without our best player back there. You know what I'm saying, in the secondary without Cam. So that's a lot more for James to be doing. It's a lot more on his shoulders to be directing traffic back there. I mean, they had a great game yesterday. Temple is not Bethune, but we treat them like Bethune. They had a great game back there, man. Especially on the when you look at the stats wise or whatever, 12 rushing yards. Like, Jesus, I ain't seen that coming in. I don't know how long. That was insane. So major props to the defense. The one thing I will say, the linebackers could do a little bit better still. That's still a process. Things are still growing. Even with Kiko, I was expecting more out of Kiko. But maybe this is still a new defense for him, and maybe he still got to settle in or whatever because the ability is there. Some things are there. Could have had a pick yesterday, but those are not plays that linebackers normally make. Not having to turn for the ball and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to see more out of him. I like to see the linebackers settle in. Somebody's got to be able to cover those backs out the backfield, and those are the guys that are doing it. We got to see them do a better job. I think they did a slightly better job yesterday.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna say this real quick. I don't think our linebackers is playing linebacker. I mean, and what I mean by that is, you saw our linebackers have to go fill holes and knock a motherfucker out, coming out the backfield. When I think of linebacker, that's what I think about. I think about guys who could disrupt the quarterback, guys who could fill in gaps, make tackles. All that other stuff is extra. If you're able to cover out the backfield, that's extra stuff. You're working on extra stuff. So I feel like we know, like I'm not even gonna go there with Kiko because we already know, like, if it was a downhill running game, Kiko would be all over the place. We saw that during the Texas A&M game.
But okay, so did you notice? They had Kiko and Flag in the game at the same time?
Yeah.
Look, I was like, oh shit, hold on, what's going on? But then when they started playing, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they doing.
Yeah.
That's the run stopping linebackers right there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? We only gave 11 yards up. So, I mean, they didn't do a bad job. Again, that one guy, I just feel like he gets out there and he's lost. He's lost. He don't never be in the right position. He's too fucking fast to be like, come on, dog. You fast. You just be out of place. Yeah, I want to see more of Wesley and Chase Smith, if anything. Like, I want to see more of those two instead of that guy.
Give us X. I know you got a slide. X. I know you got a slide. So
yeah, man. No, I had to say that. Look, I'm happy, man. I'm happy for the success. I ain't got nothing bad to say about the team, man. We 4-0. What'd you say? First time since what? 2017.
Yeah, man.
Defense giving up 12.5 points per game in 4 games. Last season, 4 games, we gave up 20.5. So we had to cut it down to 8. We cut down 8 points already. I don't know the exact defensive stats wise, but I think we only giving up 48 yards rushing per game.
Wow.
And maybe 225 yards passing per game. Shit. If we go back to the stats from last year, we'll be like, oh shit, like it's light and day. Offensively, what we averaging 43 points per game.
Wow.
We running the ball like 200, damn near 300 yards per game. We averaging we averaging 500 plus yards per game. Last year, our offense sucked ass. We was horrible. We didn't average. I think we barely averaged over 200 yards.
Right.
So, yeah, we didn't play no top teams. Okay, but shit, we didn't play top teams last year. And we was ass.
That's true.
Can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that. So X, before you slide out of here, how in any way has this affected recruiting? If there's anything tangible you can give us before you get up out of here.
Well, look, I'm going to give y'all something. This something I'm going to leave with, and I want y'all to laugh about, right? So I got a text last night, and he was like, man, these motherfuckers up here is super weird. And he talking about a certain lizard team. I'm gonna let y'all got to decide that. I'm not gonna say no name, but just decide. He's like, man, these people up here super weird, man.
Okay.
College football.
Say what?
A certain blue blood of college football that might.
Yeah. He was like, man, these people super weird. I'm like, oh, they just don't know they did us a favor.
So they ain't nothing like the crib. That's all I'm gonna say. Nothing like home.
Yeah, but recruiting is going good, man. A lot of kids they noticing. 25 class about to start taking shape and form pretty soon.
Do you think the 25?
They're being
I
told.
would say you think the 25 class have any? Does the 25 class have any bearing on guys that may be looking to flip right now for 24?
Well, the 25 class is being told that you better get it in early because it's gonna be crazy. Like you ain't gonna have no spots. Like we had 22 commits right now for 24. You know, so just imagine you gonna keep winning, have a good season. A lot of those 25 kids gonna be like, man, let me jump on board because they might tell us no.
I'm with it. If y'all want more of that,
24 class gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be something.
Yeah.
It's 3 names right now. I don't know if I ain't gonna say it today. I probably say it either Space or the next time we do a show. That man, if that thing happens, shit, we might be in top 5 instantly.
In 25?
Well, we'll let
24.
We'll let him hold it for 24. We'll let you hold it for the Space, X. We'll let you hold it for the Space. So we got the Space on Wednesday, Twitter Space on Wednesday, starting at 7:30. So y'all want more of this? Go ahead.
I definitely let y'all know by Wednesday because I have 2 friends this week. One is supposed to be Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
I definitely I probably know by Tuesday. Anything.
All right, man.
Okay. All right, we appreciate everything. Yeah, y'all prayers up for X, man.
Black Larry.
It's been a tough.
Nah, man, I ain't the
Black Larry.
Man. I'm just X, man. I'm just X.
Yeah. Nah, we appreciate all that hard work, X, man.
Man.
No problem, man. Y'all keep it going, man. Don't forget, y'all follow Caneville on Twitter, Caneville on IG, Footballville on both. Subscribe to this page. What else? IOD. Y'all do all that, man. Just join whatever we got going on. Join.
You'll be glad you did.
Yeah, all right.
Yes, sir.
Peace, man. Peace, love. 4-0 Canes go.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, X. We'll holler.
Appreciate it.
He's right, man. Anything that we got going on, y'all see my light almost fell and hit me. But anything that we got going on, man, y'all be a part of it. We have a real community over here. We have a real working community. And let me say this before I forget. Shout out to Synergy Sweets. If y'all been rocking with us long enough, y'all know who that is. She's officially the 3-time Dessert Wars champion. She won again yesterday in Tampa. We'll get some pictures and some shorts up or whatever. Gonna be some of the best stuff you ever tasted if you get hold of it. But even that, a part of our community, that was sponsorship between Footballville and Synergy Sweets. There's a lot of information going back and forth. There was a lot of help going back and forth, and we like to support each other. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on. That's why we talk about things like IOD Squad. We want to support people. You know what I'm saying? Growing brands, and just helping people out financially. A little bit of financial literacy. We got a lot of good things going on here, man. So y'all continue to support, subscribe, join Caneville, join the group meet, all that good stuff. Especially if y'all want some of this recruiting information. Y'all want to hear a lot more from X. The group me the only place you're gonna get it. Am I right, Rich, or wrong?
You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Man. So and we probably gonna get off ourselves. I know that you got NFL football going on. Streeter at a tailgate for the Dolphin game. Man, this time last year we was all alcoholics. We was drinking our sorrows. But this year it's different. Hold on to that Kool Aid pack. You'll be opening it sooner rather than later. A lot of people talk about, UNC and what Drake May was doing last night, but Pitt has been less than mid all season. So I don't know if that's a real test or what that is really. But we just got to play one game at a time, continue to get over certain hurdles. It seems like every single game after, I would say, the Georgia Tech game, I'm gonna be real. Every single game after Georgia Tech is gonna be like another bar we have to get over, another hurdle. So it's gonna be interesting. October is gonna be an interesting month for us to really see what we've evolved into as a team. I'm proud already. I'm proud, but we'll see what October.
I think what you said was true. October is going to be very important. I think this is going to shape the program one way or the other. We need to see if we need to start over again, or we need to see if we, drunk too much Kool Aid, or we're going to see if we head in the right direction. I personally think, I think when you have a foundation, you can head in the right direction, and I finally believe in the foundation. I believe in the things that we have. I just hope they can stay together. I know people are gonna come poaching for coaches if we continue to play like this, things like that. But on the other end, if we continue to play like this, we're gonna get the kids that are gonna come in and make all of these great systems that we're looking at so much more dominant and so much easier. I guess before we got here, let's look ahead a little bit. We got a bye week, which is great for us. Normally our schedule hasn't played out favorable for us, and I was kind of iffy on the whole Texas A&M being our second game, but this has worked out perfectly. It's been able to help us balance out some injuries, learn some things, you know what I'm saying, and grow as a squad. So now we got this bye week. After that, maybe I'm not reporting anything because I don't know, but maybe we'll see Cam come back. Maybe we'll see Mesidor maybe give it a shot or whatever. And then, we're able to jump into that Georgia Tech and that UNC stuff. So it's going to determine a lot. I'm going to ask you guys this in the chat. Speed bumps. Do y'all see them? I mean, are y'all afraid of Clemson, or are y'all afraid of Florida State? Y'all think we're not ready for that kind of competition yet? What do y'all think? Just looking forward. You too, Rich.
For me, I'm not necessarily afraid of anybody. It all comes down to managing personnel per game. Just like you said, I'd like to see Cam come back for Georgia Tech because of the position he plays, safety. But for Mesidor, if he sat out for Georgia Tech, I'd be completely fine. And that way we could utilize him during that UNC game and then the Clemson game. Looking at October, we could pencil in 2 wins already. We got Georgia Tech, we got Virginia. Those are wins. Now looking at then in the middle of that, you got UNC and then you got Clemson. If we was to come out of that 4-game gauntlet 3-1 even, and you know we're at 7-1 at that point, I feel good about our team. Of course, I'd like for us to be 8-0, but I would still feel good about our team if we came out 7-1. I personally think we're going to come out 8-0 though.
Oh, that sounds like a little. Wipe your mouth, Rich. You got a little Kool Aid right here, Cole. I'm gonna do that right now. That's what that sound like to me. I'm saying, but no, for real. Like, and that's the thing. That's what I was saying. It's important to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, because if you do that, we end up with that kind of schedule that Rich is talking about. So yeah, we playing Temple and we playing Bethune and whoever, whatever. But we keep winning. Who's gonna complain? I'm not gonna complain at the end of the year. You know what I mean? We get 10 or 11 wins out of this schedule or what have you. So, and that's important for, building long term. But X said it best, man. We 4-0, and everything is looking good. It's one of those things where you're kind of afraid when things are going too well and you hope the bubble don't pop. But I think we're taking it game by game, and so. But we're gonna go ahead and get ready to get up out of here. Rich, you got any last thing to say?
I just want to say, I definitely don't want us to lose to Clemson, so that's for sure. But go Canes! It's been fun. This season has been real fun. Looking forward to having more moments in the victory lane this season. That's all I got.
All right. Hey, look, shout out to everybody, man. Look, y'all come through, y'all make sure y'all have these likes up, man, so we can keep on going, stay in y'all algorithms and keep giving y'all that good stuff. Medi, let me get my theme music so we can go ahead and cruise out of here. I don't know what NFL games y'all want to go watch, but y'all welcome to go ahead and do it. Medi, let's get that theme music.
Get it right, 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 get it right. Do it for the FVille beer. Check it out. Fuck it up, 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 fuck it up.